guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister, and this is my series on the minor arcana for the suit of Pentacles. And today we're going to get into the Two of Pentacles. We're going to learn all about the secret symbolism in this card, including the astrology of this card, which will really help you understand it really well. Any secret symbolism in the card, the numerology. I think I'm going to get into the colors today, and the upright and the reversed meanings. A quick introduction on me and my channel. As I mentioned before, my name is Valentine Lister. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and I like to consider myself a YouTuber as well. I like to ham it up for the camera. On this channel, I do videos on astrology, tarot, and anything else about spirituality that I think is cool and I really love and I want to share with you guys. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website, valentinelister.com. But let's get into what you really came for, which is learning all about this card. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles, I gave this little card a nickname to introduce you to it, to help you to get to know it. And I like to call this card Work-Life Balance. Okay, let's get straight into the rulers of this card, which really ties into the astrology of this card as well. So I switched my presentation up a little bit. This is actually on my computer. I was like filming the cards, and then I'm like, I can put this into a PowerPoint presentation. It really saves me a lot of time. So I hope you guys like it. And I have this cool little pointer here where I can point things out and I don't have my finger in there like I did in the other videos. But for the rulers of this card is ruled by the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil. Why? Because the Two of Pentacles is associated with Jupiter in Capricorn. So we have the Wheel of Fortune representing Jupiter, and then we have the Devil representing Capricorn. And if you haven't seen my videos, I've talked along the lines of, you can understand this by, there's a god or goddess, like a deity wearing the zodiac sign costume of the other card, right? So if Jupiter is wearing the costume or is like in disguise or is associated with Capricorn, what is that going to look like in everyday life? Because remember, the minor arcana represents everyday life. So if Jupiter is in Capricorn, it's going to look a lot like this Two of Pentacles right here. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that this Two of Pentacles right here is associated with the first decan of Capricorn. Now, you guys, put down your pen and paper. You don't have to remember this. I wrote this down in a resource for you. It's called the Tarot and Astrology Cheat Sheet. I have the link in the description box below. If you go down below this video and click on the description box, you can get the link and snag it there. Okay, so let's get into the secret symbolism in this card. So the biggest thing that we all see on this card is, what is this guy holding? And if you remember from like way back in the beginning, the Magician card, this object here is called a lemniscate or an infinity symbol. You can call it either one, and it represents eternal life and the cycle of life. And usually it's not something we like have our hands on, but we can see here a big clue about what Jupiter in Capricorn is, because he's holding this lemniscate in his hands. It looks like he is controlling it, and he's using the pentacles here to keep it going around and around and around and around. So let's think about what the pentacles mean again too, because that's important for this card. The pentacles, right, this yellow symbol here with the star represents, oops, what did I do? Let me put this, that's fine. I'm going to bring in these other cards anyway. So this pentacle represents protection, the five senses, all of the physical elements along with spirit. You can think of the star as like a little body. The head is up here, and then there's arms and the legs. And so the pentacle can relate to money, work, taking care of physical items, taking care of the body, people you care for, like things along those lines, even like food and drink and things like that. And so this guy is spinning the world, right? This like kind of spinning the world and life around by himself and by his own will. And kind of interesting, right? Because we can see why this Two of Pentacles here is traditionally associated with Jupiter being in its fall. Jupiter is in its fall in Capricorn. Let's see why, right? Because this guy is controlling that life force. But what is Jupiter, like in its own element, all about? Well, Jupiter, which is represented by this Wheel of Fortune here, is all about surrender to the universe and fortune, because we have very little control of it. And you can think of examples like the sun rising or the sun setting, right? Do you have control over that if the sun rises or sets? No, you really don't. Do you have control over the ocean's tides? Do you have control of whether it rains or not? No, you don't have control over these things. So we, like with Jupiter here, we're honoring the cycles of life. We're taking joy in them, we're trusting in them, having faith in them, and most of all, surrender. We're not really doing anything about it. We're just learning to appreciate it and work with it. And that's where the joy is. But a Saturn ruled sign like Capricorn, like this devil guy over here, he's all about making things happen, and about security, right? Because if you leave like physical security, comfort, and pleasure to other people, they might take advantage of you. They're probably going to let you down, and so you have to take care of it. And so you have to take care of it yourself. Let me get a holla from all my Capricorn placements of like, hell yeah, nobody does things the way they should do them, and then I have to do them. And like, I just want to go on vacation. Um, so let's get back to this Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles, he is Jupiter. It is a very Jupiterian card. Just because these two, like the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil, don't necessarily like jive together on first glance, it's still Jupiter, and it's still a very optimistic and positive card. So the Two of Pentacles, this guy right here finds surrender, meaning trust and faith in things that are safe, restrictive, secure, and comforting. So it's melding these two very different things together. And a lot of times, like when Saturn and Jupiter get together, like when we had that, like the Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto conjunction in Capricorn in 2020, it's difficult, very difficult, but it also is a signal for a new start in society, in being able to expand and build and grow and to establish something new, something we've dreamed about, something that will be more meaningful and inclusive. But we have to do the hard work and labor to make that into a physical reality. And so that is associated with this guy. And also just saying that his faith is in the material worlds. And his faith is in like doing physical labor to keep the world going. He trusts in his ability to take care of things, and that's where he finds his meaning. But no doubt it's a lot of work. Like he is juggling like two things at the same time. And it looks like he's a merchant, since we have these ships in the background like coming on the water. And also that's how people made money in the past. So like ships, and the way this guy looks like he's some kind of merchant or something. And so through his business or hard work or labor, that's how he'll also fulfill his creature comforts, like money, food, and sex, associated with this Devil card. And he finds meaning and connection in the world through creature comforts, like those things, right? Anything pleasurable, he finds real spiritual meaning to experiencing those things, because he finds those like pleasures of the flesh spiritual and meaningful. And one thing I want to go into before I get into the colors and the numerology and then the meanings, is what is this hat here? I had to look up this hat, okay? This hat is called a sugar loaf hat. And the reason it's called a sugar loaf is because the shape of this thing was the shape of like a sugar product. Like the way they used to package it, they used to package it in what was called a sugar loaf, and it's the exact same shape as this. If you Google it, what a sugar loaf is, you'll see a big like ball of sugar in this shape. This hat was very popular, or it was created around 1793. And it was just like, it went straight into fashion. People loved this hat, maybe because it was a little phallic or something, very, very manly hat, whatever. But this is what this hat first looked like, and then it morphed into a top hat, and then the pilgrim hat that we all know and love. All right, so I want to get into the colors of this card. And it does tell you a lot about this guy. And it's like, if you blank out, if you remember the colors, you're going to remember the meanings, right? So this guy is dressed in red and orange, which shows, the red shows he's moving with passion, vitality, and courage. And this orange here tells us that he's also involved in a lot of activity, and he has drive and confidence. Then we look at his little green feet here. I love the green feet. Sorry about this thing on the bottom. I'm not sure how to not get it to come up, but I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to keep moving along. All right, so we have this green feet on the bottom. And green represents healing, growth, fertility, and prosperity. And so his feet are on the move, and he's making things grow, and he's making these pentacles. He's moving that money around, making that money grow, and creating life in his like everyday worldly activities. And then I'm looking at this gray ground on the bottom, which represents wisdom. It's black and white mixing together. So he finds wisdom in having his feet on the ground and staying like really grounded. That's where he finds his wisdom and his faith. And then we have the yellow pentacles. Yellow represents the soul, and the divine, and this childlike optimism. And he does find the divine in physical things that he can touch and experience with his five senses. And then the last color here was blue. And like his head is way above the water, right? His body is in this blue. And so it shows that he has a clear head, because blue represents mental clarity and serenity. Okay, let's get into the numerology. So this card is ruled by the number 2 right here. And 2 represents duality, balance of polarity, masculine and feminine, that yin and yang, being private versus public, separate versus together, and achieving balance with that. And with that, we have sensitivity to others, two-ness, and immersing ourselves in another person. So the upright meaning of this card. So if you get this card upright, it means finding joy and meaning in practical physical things. So some examples that I've seen are like wanting to go to work and finding pleasure in getting things done, like you really enjoy it. Shopping for things that you need or want, right? Those creature comforts, spending that money, making that money. Also your beauty ritual, or like using physical items for your spiritual practice, like crystals, herbs, candles, lotions, and tarot cards. Following those moon rituals, like those moon rituals and the cycles with like the new and full moon, things like that. So you're and any physical ritual to feel good. So like food, sex, and sleep. Okay, the reversed meaning of this card. So if it comes out reversed, generally it means for any card that the energy is being blocked or avoided. So for this card in particular, like it holds the upright meaning, but that's being blocked or avoided. So examples that I've seen are things like being physically prevented from working. So like a workplace is closed, or people stop you, or people keep interrupting you, but you actually wanted to work, you actually wanted to get things done. It can also mean being prevented from like doing things that bring you physical pleasure, like you don't have money to buy what you want, or food that you like, or do pleasurable things, like you don't have the resources, or people are just preventing you from doing those things, like eating your favorite food or buying what you want. Oh, and I have a funny example that I saw like on a day that I pulled this card. It was in Oahu in Hawaii. And there was this stream, like this river or something, that had this like, it was like alcoholic. It had like 1%, 1.2% alcohol in it, and it like smelled like beer. And the article said that like the teenagers in the area were like super disappointed because they fixed the stream and fixed it from like fermenting or whatever was happening to create alcohol in it. That was like being shut down. So the teenagers were not able to get drunk on that river anymore. And so that came up when this card came up reversed. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this video on the Two of Pentacles. This is just a quick reminder that if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it out. Make sure to share the wealth and tell other people about it. In any case, for this series, the next card in this series is going to be on the Three of Pentacles. If you want to catch up on the videos that I've already done, I'm going to leave a Minor Arcana playlist right here, as well as a related video that I think you'll like up here. All right, guys, love you so much. Take care. Bye. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.